First to Pakistan, where a shoe was thrown at former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif today. The incident took place in Lahore's Jamia Naima Seminary when Sharif reached the dais to address the participants during an event, and the shoe hit him on his chest. The attacker has now been identified as Talha Munawar, who is a former student. He's been handed over to the police now. According to reports, the student was beaten up by the seminary staff and other students shortly after the incident. Those visuals coming to you from Peshawar in Pakistan, where a shoe was hurled at former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. According to reports, a student was responsible for hurling that shoe at the former Pakistani Prime Minister. Let's go straight across now to Rahimullah Yusufzai, Pakistani journalist, joining us from Peshawar for more on this. Good evening. Appreciate very much you're speaking with us here on WION. Two incidents taking place. First of ink being thrown at the present Pakistan foreign minister, and then we have just a few hours later a shoe being hurled at the former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. What do you make of this? Is this not an indication of these leaders at the end of public anger?
You know, I think it's a sign of intolerance. It's a sign of the polarization we are now seeing in Pakistani politics. You know, the Prime Minister, the deposed Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif had gone to a madrasa, an Islamic school in Lahore. And one of the students of that madrasa reportedly, tried to hit him with a shoe, and he was hit. You know, the organizers of this event, who are, religious scholars who are running this Islamic school, they and the security people are responsible for all this. The Prime Minister, was embarrassed. He was hit. But I think it's not that everybody was very angry with him or they wanted to hit him. It's just one person. And, earlier the Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif, he also suffered this embarrassment that ink was thrown at his face. But I think that it's not something which is happening every day and everywhere. These are isolated incidents, but it also shows that, the Pakistani society, in some respects, is becoming intolerant.
Absolutely. These two incidents, first one of the ink on the left of your screens of that incident where the ink was thrown at the Pakistan Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif, and then just hours later we have a shoe being hurled at the former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Sir, in the second case where the shoe was hurled, we believe that a former student was responsible. Do we know in the investigation that has so far been conducted the exact reason why that student was irked and took this step?
That student was arrested and he was taken away immediately. Not much information is available, but I think he will be interrogated and they will see if he acted alone or he was acting at the behest of somebody. But I don't think it's a big conspiracy or there are many people involved. It seems to be an isolated case, an individual act by this person. And I think, we don't know what is going to happen to him, but it is possible that, Nawaz Sharif may even forgive him. But, look at the reaction, Imran Khan, the leader of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and the biggest rival of Nawaz Sharif, he has also condemned this incident. He was very angry at why this happened. So, by and large, even the opposition politicians are, condemning it. And the common people also, they were actually put off by this kind of thing. Because, Nawaz Sharif is still one of the major politicians in the country. His party, the PMLN, is in power. The Prime Minister was nominated by him. He has a majority in the parliament. and his party has good chances of, even winning the next election. So I think if it happens to him, already he's facing so much pressure from the Supreme Court, and he's under trial. And now this happens. So this is something, which will create sympathy for Nawaz Sharif, I say, because already, because of the Supreme Court cases against him and his removal, that has created a wave of sympathy for Nawaz Sharif and his party.
So as we let you go, a wave of sympathy, but does this incident not also indicate perhaps resentment amongst the civil society members, specifically against Nawaz Sharif, given that he was disqualified following the Panama Papers case, given that he was also removed from his party leadership? Do we look at these incidents as, you're saying, of course, public anger and resentment and intolerance, but do we also say that somewhere the second incident was targeting specifically Nawaz Sharif and the public resentment which has perhaps been escalating against him?
I don't deny that there is no public anger against Nawaz Sharif. Many people are angry with him because they believe he was corrupt and he was dishonest, and they support the Supreme Court, decision to defeat him and disqualify him. That is there, we don't deny that.
Yes.
And especially the opposition parties, and more the Tehreek-e-Insaf led by Imran Khan, they have been running a campaign. And they want him arrested, and they want him, and his whole family to be arrested and tried. But, if you look at the by-elections, and the kind of crowds Nawaz Sharif is drawing to his public meetings, especially in Punjab, which is his stronghold, which is his native province, he has been winning all the by-elections by big margins. And he has been drawing huge crowds. So we can say that there is public anger, but I think there is also a lot of support for him. And as I was saying earlier, there seems to be a sympathy now being generated for Nawaz Sharif because they think that he has been wronged by the Supreme Court. Some people say that, maybe the judiciary and the security forces and the opposition have joined hands against him. So that is generating a lot of sympathy also for Nawaz Sharif.
All right. We're going to leave it there for the moment, Mr. Yusuf. I appreciate very much your speaking with us here on WION and helping our viewers better understand these two incidents of the first one where ink was thrown at the Pakistan Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif, and the second one of a shoe being hurled at the former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Both these incidents, as our guest was also pointing out, indicating simmering public anger and intolerance.